in all seriousness, there's a lot happening right now, and I feel like every black person is at the end of the straw where racism is concerned. And oftentimes we'll sit and see all these things on social media and we don't really know how to respond, and oftentimes we're either just in shock, not sure how to process the information, or we're so outraged that we go on a whole rambling storm. I'm just sitting here, and the whole time after I finished filming, I do my own tomfoolery, took a few pictures and just act a fool, and then I went on social media and I see everything posting, and I'm not gonna say that I wasn't seeing them before, because I was, but I didn't want to respond to it only because I know about how I want to move forward with my mental health, and seeing everything else happening on top of what's already happening is just a little bit too much for me. So I wasn't necessarily ignoring the situation, I just didn't want it to infiltrate my mentals. But obviously, because even though I'm not directly affected or impacted by that situation, regardless, I'm still impacted by the situation, because that person and people who are subjected to this kind of treatment are still a part of my race. And you target one, you target the many. So not directly impacted, but still impacted because I am a part of this person. Whether it's just because of the color of my skin, I'm still a part of this person. That person is a part of a group of us, black people. And I see this all the time. I hear the stories, I hear the news and all of that, but it comes to a point where you can no longer try to block what's trying to infiltrate in your emotions. I'm enraged, I am angered, to the point where I'm a crybaby. I'm not gonna bother, I'm not going to cry. I'm really angry that this is something that's still happening, and I just want to say, I say this is still happening. I'm not saying that racism is the strongest it has ever been. I don't think racism ever dissipated ever from society, not once. But what makes it so much more impactful is the fact that it is now being visualized. So normally people would experience racism, but they can only count on their personal experiences, and it's not being shown to the public. But now we have social media, now we have the technology to use and spread news. That same technology is now using to bring visualization of racism to the general masses, and it's not something that just started up. It never just started up. It happened from a long time. It's just because we are personally seeing it, and we've been seeing it for quite a few years. I know I'm just talking about it and I use my platform as just a hobby, but sometimes there are different ways that you can actually play a part. And I'm not just talking about reposting, I'm not talking about just spreading awareness. Those, yes, are still effective ways of trying to fix the problem, but there's something deeper than what it should be. There is a petition going around to sign in support of George Floyd, which was the recent police brutality killing, murder. I'll leave a link in the description so you can add your signature. That's some way you can play a part. And I'm just really tired of it, honestly, and I feel very targeted. I feel like I pray that there is some change in the world, in today's society, where Black people don't have to be scared for their lives anymore, where Black people can actually have an issue and call the police and know that the police would be there for them and not to just turn against them. I feel like right now I'm just spitting out stuff and not really, this is just my reaction to what's happening around me. And this is just how I feel that I can release some emotion and at the same time trying to do something about the situation by not just sitting in silence. I know oftentimes I don't normally do this on my social media, and I don't normally post about anything that's really going on in the world on my social media up until recently. For example, the COVID live talk that I started doing just to ease some of the mental health pressures of what would come along with COVID. So I can only say I might not have the biggest voice, but I'm contributing in some way how I can. So again, I'm leaving a link down below for you guys to sign the petition. Why are we hated so much? I feel, and because of these systematic mechanisms that they use to keep us oppressed, to keep us separated, divided, it's hard for us to understand that together we can literally overthrow our oppressors. Let's talk about the rioting in Minneapolis. I am more so scared for people getting hurt in the rioting, but at the same time we've peacefully protested all this time and nothing has really changed. At the end of the day, just still just call us ghetto barbarians, monkeys and apes, and nothing changes. So if this way that we are more violent in a protest, we can actually be heard and seen, there will probably become some sort of change. For example, if you look back on history, I know my Jamaican history in regarding to the revolts that were led by our national hero, one being Paul Bogle, many of the Maroons, just to name a few, to overthrow some sort of captivity. I feel that those actions based on our history did play a role in things being overthrown in regarding to slave and general captivity. And even throughout the years, even in American history, in regarding to even women on a whole being able to work in certain professions, it all took some sort of riot for it to happen. And I don't want to sound ignorant in just like throwing stuff out there. I might not know the full spectrum of all the history, but I'm just saying that there was some sort of loud voices that were being shared to bring about change in what's happening. So in regarding to Minneapolis and the rioting, the looting and so forth, if that's what it had to come to for us to actually be heard, then I support it. I am just scared of other people getting hurt, and especially I would prefer that the looting and the violent rioting doesn't happen in our own Black community. And if you're watching this video right now and you're being offended by me saying white people, why are you being offended, for one, if you know that you're supporting the Black community? And the only way you're going to be some way offended by this is because, one, if you said, oh, I support Black people, but you still have some sort of guilt of me saying white people, honey, you're just showing face, and that's not a good look, babe. If you're watching my video and you're racist and you start commenting on my videos or under this video specifically, just to call me a nigger, to call me a bitch, whatever scary words you want to call me, feel free to do it. I can give you a virtual plastic bag to put your feelings in and let you go on your way. Cause honestly, words don't hurt me. You could have called me monkey, could have called me ape, could have called me bullfrog, whatever the case might be. Words don't really hurt me. Cause you wanna know why? I don't care what you think. I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm capable of. I know what black people are worth. I know what black people are capable of. And the reason why y'all so mad is because you're threatened. You're threatened by the power that we have. The power that we're naturally born with. The giftedness we're naturally born with. The talentedness that we're naturally born with. We don't really try hard to do anything, you know. We never see that. We never realize that we don't try hard for the nothing. I don't know why you guys feel like we're different. Because if you cut me and you cut yourself as a white person, we are bleed the same color blood. But what's funny is that the same way you treat black people, in addition to you treat other people of color, for what? For what? Because you're not considering pure white. No, you just lack melanin. That's it. You just lack local melanin. That's it. Guys, just bear with me. I feel like venting. I'm probably not even speaking cohesively. But I just had to get some things off my chest. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling distraught. I'm feeling angered. And the only way I can support my mental health is 1, talking about it, and 2, just digging deeper into my creativity, trying to make something in light of disaster. So you see me posting videos or posting me trying to have fun, don't think I don't feel it. I do feel it. I just don't want it to consume me, because as much as I pray for some sort of change, it's something that's just a part of our reality. Sadly, it's something a part of our reality, and sometimes you can't allow it to affect you to the point where you just get completely numb and you stop fighting, because that's when they win. So that's why I'm bringing you guys some sort of attention to the issue. I can't imagine bringing my black child into a world like this, where they're just targeted because of the color of their skin. And let me tell you, racism is not the only problem. There's also colorism, and I feel like people aren't even ready to have that conversation, especially in Jamaica. People literally bleach their skin. And I don't know, growing up, I guess I was just different. I never felt the feeling of being less than because of the color of my skin. Sometimes I did find myself, oh, I wish I was lighter skin so that, you know, boys would like me, because I felt like I wasn't the cutest child growing up. But that was just my self-esteem. But as I got older, and when I'm saying older, not much older, when I got to my teens and everybody did start bleach and everything, I started questioning why. I started actually loving the shade of my skin. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that colorism is also a mechanism of dividing us black people, because people have a lighter skin, and then the lighter skin people were often preferred to have like certain jobs, like jobs in banks, jobs at the ministries, that I saw growing up. I don't think it's changed. I don't think that culture has changed in Jamaica. That's like a whole other conversation that needed to be had, because even though we black people experience racism from white people, we also experience colorism amongst each other, because there's this preference for people who have lighter skin and everything. So on all ends of the world, we are being attacked and put against ourselves and divided. And I think that's because there is a fear that when black people or people of color come together as an entity, as one, we become a very powerful source. And I feel like we don't really yet grasp that understanding, that these mechanisms are literally put into place to hinder the growth potential that we have. I feel like I'm literally all over the place, but regardless, I'm still gonna post this video. Let me wash my face real quick. I am praying for a change. I am praying for when us black people's eyes can open up and try to accept each and every one for just being human. And I also pray that the wider racial demographic also accepts each and every one as just humans and not based excuse me, and not based a person or criticize or label a person just because of the color of their skin. Like, I can never understand. If a white girl shows aggression, immediately she's the victim. If a black girl shows aggression, immediately she's angry, immediately she's ghetto. At the end of it, there's also cultural appropriation. They use our slangs, they listen to our music, they interpret our style and take our fashion for their own, but yet still at some point they call us angry, ghetto. And I'm not saying that they're bad words either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they're used as bad words when it's coming out of the mouth of a white person. Literally, I'm literally just venting and speaking anything that comes to my mind. This is just how I'm feeling. This is my outlet. It is what it is. I'm praying for some unity, that we realize our potential and understand why the superior group is using these mechanisms to keep us divided. Is using these mechanisms to keep us under control so that we don't get to recognize our full potential to unleash that black magic. I am done. Thank you for hearing my voice. I'll see you guys in the next one.